And so, well, welcome everybody. I'm just going to mute the folks. Sorry to be rude. All right, so let's come to a nice seated position, cross-legged if that feels good, or sitting up on a pillow, putting the non-familiar leg in front, please. And I was thinking today, when we're stretching, you know, often when you're stretching, there's a part of you that goes really easily, and then you let sort of that part go. And there might be other parts that feel more resistance. Today, when you're stretching, I want you to kind of notice which part of you stretches really easy. And instead of just letting that flop over, find the parts of you that have more resistance and try and stretch that part out. If that makes any sense, just sort of see, instead of always going with the familiar, easy part of a stretch, kind of find where it's not as easy and try and get into that part. So sitting up nice and tall, let's just focus on our breath, feeling the lower belly expand and relax with the inhale. Then on the exhale, just let your shoulders, hips kind of settle downward. Maybe closing your eyes or looking at the floor and just really putting all your attention into that expansion of your lower core and then just settling downward. So speaking of feeling things a bit differently, see if you can get maybe your lower back to expand a bit with the inhale. So your diaphragm's pulling down. Usually we have our lower belly expand, but just see if as you inhale, you can get kind of more around your back to expand. Good, wonderful. Now let's just do a few cow and cat, please. Inhaling to arch your back, maybe your hands on your knees so you can really have your hands hooked to feel your chest opening up. And as you exhale with these hands hooked, you can really feel the back body stretching out. And just noticing the parts of yourself that find this easy, and noticing the parts of yourself that don't maybe bend and arch as well, and try and really focus on those parts and getting them moving. Wonderful. Now sitting up nice and tall, let's just shake out our wrists, just getting our fingers and hands ready to come onto our hands and knees. Maybe doing some wrist circles one way, back around the other way. Wonderful. So let's come onto our hands and knees, and let's just start by stretching out one leg behind us and just feeling the back of our leg stretching out. So pressing into your heel and coming up onto your toes. So we're waking up our toes and our feet on the back of our legs, just sort of pulsing back and forth. Wonderful, and then switching legs, please. So we're pressing back, so you get a nice stretch in your calf, and you're coming forward to come up onto your tiptoes a bit, so you're getting kind of a foot massage. Wonderful. Coming back onto your hands and knees, we're going to let our hips go side to side, looking over the opposite shoulder. So inhale through center, exhale. Looking the other way, inhale through center, exhale, going the other way. So you're feeling a nice stretch through the side of your hip and your side body. And again, like, see which part of you finds this kind of easy. And instead of really pushing into that part of you, see if there's another part of your side body that tends not to move as much, and see if you can get it moving. So for example, I find my hip will go easily, but my mid body doesn't want to curve as much. So I'm going to focus on not so much my hip going to the side, but feeling more of a curve through my side body. Wonderful. Coming back through center, and let's do some circling. So you're sort of pressing back into a child's pose and going to the side, and the other side. So you're sort of getting a nice stretch out through your back. Wonderful. Let's switching directions when you get around to it. Feeling too how this can be kind of a nice movement in your shoulders. So feeling your shoulders getting a nice kind of circular movement. You're almost pressing into one shoulder in the same way that you're pressing into your hip. Good, wonderful. Coming back through center, we're going to really wake up our chest. So shaking out your hands a bit if you like. And what we're going to do is really feel like you're pressing the floor away with your hands. So you feel your chest muscles really waking up. Let's have our toes on the floor. Good. So this is how you can be pressing your toes into the floor, pressing your hands into the floor. If you like, and if your wrists agree, you can press so much that your knees come off the floor and really feel your chest and core engage, but only if your wrists agree with this. So breathe deep for a moment or two. Wonderful. Coming back down to the floor. All right, so let's open up our knees, feet coming together, just hanging out in a child's pose for a moment, letting our wrists relax. So stretching out your spine, feeling your hips sinking downwards. So just breathing deep, noticing the parts of you that find this easy, and kind of ignoring those parts of your body. And look around, sense which parts of you just generally don't find this easy, and see if you can soften those parts of you. Find those sort of like tense parts of you and really try and relax them on the exhale. When you're ready, we're going to come back up onto our hands and knees, please. And we're going to get our core fired again. So just from here, feeling on the exhale, your stomach muscles pulling in, feeling your spine nice and long. And then part one is lengthening out one leg behind you. So let's have our foot flexed if you like. And really feel that nice strength in your core. So you can hold here if you like, or stretching out your opposite hand to leg, palm facing inward. Good. So you feel your core really strong. On each exhale, feel those stomach muscles powerfully pulling in. Good. Wonderful. A few more breaths. Wonderful. Your hand coming down to the floor, that foot, have it travel across the other foot, bring your toes down to the floor. So you're getting a big side stretch, then looking over your opposite shoulder. So you're looking towards that foot. So you get a big stretch up your side body. Good. Good. Finding the parts of you that don't want to bend and try and soften them, getting them to try and bend a bit more, opening up. Wonderful. Slowly coming back through center. Putting your knees back down on the floor. This time we're going to keep our knees together. Come into a child's pose. And let's try hands alongside your body with palms facing up. And see if that feels good. Feeling like the whole back body just falling open. So breathing deep. Just letting the whole back relax, letting your neck relax, letting those wrists relax. Then nice and slow, we're going to come up onto our hands and knees again, please. Again, feeling on the exhale, those stomach muscles pulling in, keeping your spine nice and long. When you're ready, stretching out your other leg behind you. So feeling that really powerful leg stretched out, foot flexed. So it's like your heel is reaching. And if you like, reaching the opposite hand forward to that leg, palms facing in. Good. So feeling on each exhale, your stomach muscles are powerfully pulling in. Got a special guest.
Sorry, guys.
Jody. They would say hi, I'm sure, but I muted them.
Oh.
They're saying hi in spirit.
Okay.
So breathing deep with those stomach muscles pulling in. Good. So then hand back on the floor, that foot coming across your body, finding a spot on the floor for it, looking over your shoulder towards that extended foot so you get a big stretch of your side body. Good, wonderful. Inhaling, coming back through center, letting your hips go side to side if that feels good. Good, wonderful. So now shaking out your wrists if you like. And we're going to do a few cow and cat. Inhale, rounding your back. Exhale. Just feeling how this feels in your spine. And there's always the part of you that easily does this, and that becomes the main movement most of the time. But see if there's sort of corners of your body that generally aren't moving with it. You know, there's the parts of your body that kind of take over. See if you can find the parts that generally don't move and try and get them moving. Good. Good, wonderful. So let's do a wide-legged child's pose. But this time, after you get stretched out, we're gonna get a big side bend. So say bending your right elbow to reach your left arm across. So you get a big stretch up the left side of your body, maybe resting your forehead somewhere. But basically just sort of going towards the right and reaching that left arm until you get a big stretch up your left side. Good, wonderful. Coming back through center. Pause for a moment just to get your spine straightened out. And then when you're ready, you're going to bend your left elbow and have your right arm reach across towards the left until you feel like a big pull up the right side of your body. Your hips are nice and rooted, so it's like you're really growing out the whole right side of your body, feeling that big stretch. Wonderful. Coming back through center. And then slowly coming back up onto your hands and knees. We got to get up off the floor. So let's get our toes on the floor and we're going to press back into a downward dog for a moment or two. Maybe with your knees bent, feeling your hips, pressing backwards, getting that long stretch through your back. Maybe straightening one leg and then the other. Good, then bending both of your knees, really lengthening out your back. Nice big inhale. As you exhale, maybe straightening both of your legs, feeling your heels reaching down towards the floor. Good, wonderful. Now we're gonna walk our feet up towards our hands, coming into a forward fold and shake out those core wrists. And then just letting your whole upper body flop, letting your head shake out, maybe shaking out your shoulders. Nice big inhale. Kind of let things go on the exhale. And then slowly rolling back up your spine. All right, when you get up to the top, no hurry. We're going to do some hip circles. Going around in one way, please. So adjust the camera. And circling back around the other way. It's like your hips are a pendulum swinging around. All right, standing on both feet evenly. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, arms coming down on either side. Good. One more time, nice full breath, getting the spine long. Exhale. Good. So now we're going to get into our chair pose. So our hips are coming back, sitting down on that imaginary stool. Let's inhale, come on back. So exhale, feeling that core engage. Inhale, come on back. So when we exhale and come on down, in addition to feeling your core, try also to feel your pelvic floor pulling up. So it's like your whole inner self is sort of pulling in. And on the inhale, feel nice and long in your spine. Good, a few more. Breathing deep as you go. Good, Wonderful. Standing up nice and tall, giving everything a shake. Good. Now we're gonna feel the front part of our core working. We're gonna balance to come onto one foot, lifting up the other leg. So you got a bent knee, and I really want you to feel these parts of your core pulling together, contracting to help hold up that leg. Good. Let's bring our hands to heart center if you're feeling balanced. And on each exhale, as you feel that core pulling in, also pressing your hands together. Good. So feeling through the chest, through the core, everything really getting fiery and contracting on the exhale. And try to keep that spine long. Don't let your spine, your lower back round out. Good. Good, wonderful, hooray. So I feel like letting my hips come forward and back. I feel like that my hip flexors want to open up a bit. So just doing whatever feels good before we do the other side. And speaking of which, bringing your weight now onto the other foot, strong core doing the work of picking up this leg. And when you're feeling balanced, bringing your hands to heart center. Good. So on each exhale, you're feeling your hands pressed together to wake up the chest muscles and the core muscles really contracting. Staring at something that's not going to move to help you balance. Trying to keep the spine long so there's no rounding in the lower back. Good. Ooh, wonderful. Shaking out those wrists again. I want to do some circling with your hips. So stepping side to side, and we're just going to open up those hips. Getting them ready for the next thing. Wonderful. So the next thing is you've got your legs kind of open. So your feet and your knees are pointed in the same open direction. So this is the one where we're pulling in our elbows, feeling our chest nice and lifted. Inhale, reaching our arms up. Exhale. Good. Coming on down. So again, on this exhale, as we come down, you really want to feel your core contracting, your arms pulling in so that you feel kind of your lats waking up on the exhale. Good. And we want, let's check that our knees and our toes are pointing the same direction. So if our knees, we don't want our feet more open than our knees. So just adjust so everyone's pointing the same direction. Good. And on the inhale, as you reach up, feel like you're really pressing your feet into the ground. Is that in a way, as you come up and it's like you're pressing the floor away with those feet, it really activates the legs. Good, one more time. Hooray, good. Letting those arms relax. Now we're gonna make our way into warrior two. So that's the one where the hips are more open. So the front foot is pointed straight ahead with your knee in line. And then, yeah, you got it, bending into the front knee, arms reaching. Hooray. So your back arm should be in line with your shoulder. Good. So let's take the back arm, reach it overhead, the front arms resting. Maybe your elbow on that thigh. Wonderful. Feeling the back body stretching out. Good, wonderful. Pressing your feet into the floor and just feeling again that side body stretching out. Good, then when you're ready, inhale, reaching that arm up. Let's have our feet change so we're going the other way. So you're bending in to that front knee, which is going out over your toes, reaching with your arms. So if your back arm is going back too much, bring it more in line with your shoulder. This should feel engaging, but not like painful. Good. Nice big inhale and exhale, reaching your back arm overhead. Maybe you're resting the front arm on your thigh, doing that big stretch up the back body. Good, and then inhale, reaching on up. All right, so walking your feet back together and give everything a good shake, and then we're gonna make our way back down onto the floor, please. All right, so I'm gonna lower the camera again. Good, so coming onto your mat, we're gonna come onto our back. And let's start by just hugging in our knees and rolling side to side. Good, and then let's just do some ankle circles. Thank our ankles for everything they do. Circling back around the other way with those hard-working ankles. The ankles and the wrists, they're the real heroes. Good, and then when you're ready, inhale, reaching everything out, letting your back arch, and on your exhale, hugging in your knees, maybe bring your head towards your knees. So it's two opposite feelings. Inhale, stretching out, exhale, pulling everything into a ball. Really feel on the exhale that you're pressing out the breath as you pull in those knees. Good. Next time your knees are pulled in, we're going to start the one where your head's on the floor, your knees are bent, feet off the floor, and you're pressing your hands into your thighs, and then your thighs are going back into your hands. So you feel your core engaging, your head is rested on the floor. Your head, your head is and neck are relaxed. And you're just feeling the stomach really contracting. Good, so keeping this feeling of engagement in the core, reaching your hands up towards the ceiling, palms facing together. So we're gonna get into some dead bugs. So if your left leg's extending, your left arm extends with it, your right arm extends overhead, and exhale coming back through center, and then go on the other side. So inhale to kind of reach everything, exhale to bring everything back to home plate. And your back isn't moving around. You've got that nice little arch in your lower back still. I never want your lower back getting squished into the floor. And you're feeling your core, the very center of this movement, really contracting on the exhale. Good, wonderful. Feet back on the floor, hands alongside your hips. And let's push up into a bridge, please. So feeling the hip flexors and the quads, everybody stretching out. Your neck should be relaxed and looking straight up. If this doesn't feel good on your neck, just don't do it. Normal idea. Your body has to agree. Good, and then slowly lowering back down, hugging your knees in, and then making our way into happy baby. So maybe grabbing the outside of your leg, your calves, gently draw your knees down to the floor, maybe grabbing the outside of your feet. Just breathing deep. Maybe closing your eyes and noticing the parts of your body that find this easy, and kind of ignoring those parts of your body and searching around to see the parts of your body that find this hard, and trying to soften those parts on the exhale. Good. Slowly coming out of it. Feet on the floor, hands on either side of our bodies, palms facing up, and let's just do a few windshield wipers. So exhale, your knees fall one way. Inhale through center, exhale the other way. So just getting kind of a twisty feeling for a moment or two. Feeling how the twist feeling goes right up, kind of into your underarm and chest. Good, wonderful. So we're gonna make our way into our resting pose. I feel like hugging in my knees beforehand. Maybe you feel like you wanna do something else first. So whatever last little movements your body wants, go ahead and do it. And then taking a big inhale when you get around to it, and exhale to flop out into your resting pose. Letting your feet just fall open, letting your hips relax open. Closing your eyes and just letting everything melt down to the floor. Just letting your breath flow through you. Slowly start to wake up your body. Maybe breathing a bit more deeply. Maybe wiggling your fingers or toes or letting your head move from side to side or staying put if you have the time. And then gradually letting your body move or stretch in any way that it wants. And when you get around to it, bending your knees and rolling onto your side, resting there for a moment. And then slowly coming up to a seated position with your spine nice and long. Or just laying down if you like. So we're going to do some fancy breathing. So you know the one where we're trying to get, well, your breath going up one nostril, then out the other nostril, then back in that nostril, and then out the other nostril. So you put your thumb to close up one side, and then you're going to inhale through the open side. Close that side off with your finger to blow out through the other side. Then staying there to inhale on that side. Then close it up to exhale through the other side. So you're always switching on the exhale, but staying put on the inhale. Just letting your mind focus on this alone. We're trying to get the breath flowing easily on both sides. Good. Just finishing up. And just letting your hands relax and trying to breathe in both sides of your nostrils. Good. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording.